Russian forces launched a devastating series of attacks across southern Ukraine this weekend, causing significant casualties and straining the region's already battered energy infrastructure. In the city of Mykolaiv, regional governor Vitalii Kim reported that at least 5 civilians were injured during a strike that targeted critical facilities and residential areas. The victims included a 43-year-old man, a 48-year-old woman, and a 16-year-old boy, all of whom were hospitalized in moderate conditions. Emergency crews worked through the night to extinguish fires that engulfed industrial sites and private homes, while footage from the scene showed firefighters battling flames amid the rubble of damaged buildings. The attack severely disrupted the local power grid, leaving large swaths of the Odesa and Mykolaiv regions in darkness and completely cutting off electricity to Ukrainian controlled areas of the Kherson region. To mitigate the transport crisis caused by the blackout, city officials in Mykolaiv were forced to deploy nearly 300 additional buses and trolley buses to ensure residents could still move around the city. This latest assault is part of a broader campaign by Moscow to cripple Ukraine's southern economic hubs, further complicating daily life for civilians as the winter months approach. Tensions in the Black Sea escalated sharply after Russian missile strikes hit foreign cargo vessels docked at the Ukrainian port of Krasnoyarsk. The Turkish-owned ship, identified as the Zelensky, was loaded with fresh fruits and vegetables intended for export when it was struck by a ballistic missile on Friday afternoon. The explosion ignited a massive fire on the forward sections of the vessel, which was flying a Panamanian flag, forcing the crew and port workers to evacuate rapidly. While no sailors were killed, the attack drew immediate condemnation from Ankara, with Turkish officials expressing deep concern over the safety of maritime trade routes. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky cited the incident as proof that Russia is deliberately targeting global food security and ignoring diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the naval conflict. The strikes on the Turkish ship occurred just hours after Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had proposed a limited ceasefire to protect energy and port infrastructure, a suggestion that Moscow appeared to have rejected with this fresh bombardment. While the South faced aerial bombardment, the war also reached deep into Russian territory with a Ukrainian drone strike on the city of Lviv, located northwest of Moscow. A long-range drone evaded Russian air defense and crashed into a multi-story residential building, triggering a fire and injuring at least 7 people, including a child. Acting Lviv Governor Vitalii Kim confirmed that emergency services had evacuated 22 residents from the damaged high-rise and that structural inspections were on the way to determine if the building remained safe for habitation. This incident underscores the growing reach of Kyiv's drone capabilities, which are increasingly striking targets hundreds of kilometers from line. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed to have intercepted 90 other drones over various regions that same night, but the impact in Lviv serves as a stark reminder to the Russian public that the war is no longer confined to the border zones. On the Eastern Front, Russian military units are claiming fresh momentum in their push to capture key logistical hubs in the Donbas region. Moscow forces have intensified their assault near Krasnoyarsk and Dimitrov, aiming to sever the vital supply lines that sustain the Ukrainian defense in the east. Analysts suggest that these maneuvers are part of a larger strategic drive toward the cities of Kramatorsk and Sloviansk, which remains the primary objectives for the Russian command in the Donetsk sector. Although the Kremlin claims to have repelled Ukrainian counterattacks in the Sumy region with heavy losses, these reports remain unverified by independent sources. The fighting in the east has devolved into a grueling artillery duel, with both sides expending vast amounts of ammunition to hold their positions. Ukraine has responded by utilizing Western-supplied long-range rocket systems to strike Russian ammunition depots and command posts, hoping to blunt the Russian advance before it can threaten the remaining strongholds in the Donbass. In Pyongyang, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un presided over a lavish ceremony to welcome back thousands of troops returning from their deployment in Russia. The event, held at the April 25th House of Culture, was broadcast on state media and featured emotional scenes of Kim embracing soldiers and laying flowers before a portrait of those killed in action. The North Korean leader praised the returning troops as heroic figures who had served with distinctions on the Russian battlefield, specifically highlighting the work of the 528th Regiment of Engineers in clearing mines from the Kursk region. During his speech, Kim acknowledged that 9 North Korean soldiers had died during the mission, a rare public admission of casualties that underscores the depth of the military alliance between Pyongyang and Moscow. Intelligence reports indicate that North Korea had sent up to 15,000 troops to support the Russian war efforts, a move that has solidified the strategic partnership between the two nations and drawn sharp criticism from the United States and its allies. Meanwhile, in the Indian Ocean, a specialized team of United States force executed a high-stake raid on a merchant vessel suspected of smuggling advanced military technology from China to Iran. Operating several hundred miles off the coast of Sri Lanka, American commandos boarded the ship and seized a massive consignment of materials, including 2,000 tons of sodium perchlorate, a chemical precursor used in the production of ballistic missiles fuel. The seizure comes amid high tensions following the 12-day war between Israel and Iran in June, which saw significant damage to Tehran's missiles production facilities. U.S. officials stated that the intercepted cargo was critical for Iran's efforts to rebuild its arsenal and that the operation was part of a broader campaign to enforce international sanctions. The raid highlights the aggressive stance of the Trump administration in disrupting the supply chains of adversarial nations, signaling a new phase of maritime interdiction aimed at preventing the proliferation of missile technology in the volatile Middle East region. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. With Russia intensifying attacks on energy grids, North Korea openly sending troops, and the EU moving to permanently seize Russian assets, are we witnessing a dangerous and irreversible escalation of the Ukraine war into a wider, frozen global conflict? And why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Like the video, share this video with friends and family, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.